Hi guys. So we're getting a little fancy here. I'm going to try something new. We'll see if it works. I'm using Switcher Studio, and right now you can see the front of you can see my face. When I switch it to another camera, you are going to see what I'm working on, and hopefully I'll be able to see any comments from people that come in. Okay, so welcome. If you wouldn't mind sharing, that would be great. If you're not a designer, that would be really great. I would truly appreciate that. And also, if you have any questions about Chocature, the products, or joining my team, just list them in the comments and I will get back to you. All right, and I'll answer any questions I can, the comments that I catch when we are going through the live. All right, my battery in the smoke alarm has not been changed yet, so I apologize. You're going to hear that beep every so often. And I'm not tall enough to change it, or else I would, so apologize for that. All right, I'm going to switch you down now. All right, so that worked pretty good. All right, so as you can see, we're going to do this beehive project. And I already have my board here. It's just a regular board that I painted the sides, and I painted the inside of it too. And it's just going to hang on my bathroom wall, I believe, because I kind of have a bee theme going on in there. All right, so you got the transfer. What you want to do with these transfers is when you get it pulled apart, the best thing to do is pull the backer away from the transfer like that, and you just want to pull up and away. You never want to pull a transfer from the corner because you could stretch it out. All right, so let's just get our beehive here. I want to try and get it in the center. I don't really expect that there's going to be anybody coming on today. I'm usually at work during the day, and I know most lives usually happen at night, so a lot of people are working right now. But I wanted to test out the Switcher Studio, and I thought, well, this is the perfect time to do that if there's not going to be a lot of people on. And so far, it's working really good. All right, so you just want to make sure you get out any creases. Make sure you don't have any bubbles. Air bubbles under a transfer are not good. I'm going to be using gray. This is our Super Stash. It's a little bit bigger than our 3-ounce, you can see. For the colors that you are going to be using a lot, it's always good to have the Super Stash of that. And then you're just going to stir it. I find that these stir sticks for this, when you're using a Super Stash, are not long enough. So you have to, thanks Pam, how are you? You have to get something like a little bit longer for these new ones, okay? All right, so I'm not sure how many beehives are actually gray, but when you're designing something, you can kind of like make up your own, whatever you want them to be. I didn't want to use yellow because I didn't really think yellow would look that great on the color I did for the background. All right, so you're just going to take a little bit of paste, put it on your beehive like that. And you guys all know the drill. You just pull it over the areas that have the silk screen. And I've said it before, but if you can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you can definitely chalk. It's that easy. And it's so satisfying because a little bit of effort and you end up with this beautiful piece of home decor when you're done. All right, you do want to work quickly because the paste, you do not want to let it dry in your, you don't want the paste to dry in the silk screen mesh. If that happens, what will happen is the paste will pull right up on the transfer. You just pull it like this when you're about ready to pull it up, lift up and away, and there you go. So pretty. Just gonna use the hairdryer for a minute to get it a little bit dry. so our chalk paste dries really quick. So once it's on and it's dry, it won't smudge or come off just by going like that with your hands. But when you want to take it off, like this board was waxed before, so I shouldn't have a problem when I want to come in with my board eraser, take everything off and put a new design. If this was a raw piece of wood and I didn't wax it, or it was like had a lot of grooves or something in it, like if it was a kind of a worn piece of wood, I would use that as a one-shot design, because once you have the grooves and chalk paste gets into their grooves, there's no way you're going to be able to completely get that chalk paste off. All right, so let's add, I don't know what you would call this. I guess it's a buzz line. Again, I always pull the backing off and away. I guess let's put it, or maybe we'll put it like it's coming out of, this one's coming out of there. When I'm layering on a transfer that's already, or a design that I already have down, I always go very lightly putting the second layer down because I don't want to pull it up. And even if you do put it down lightly, sometimes you will pull it up. It just happens. But don't worry, it happens to everybody from time to time. You just redo it. And that is the beauty of our chalk paste, is that you can. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit. Same sort of thing. Just put it where the mesh area is. Our chalk paste goes such a long way. Any excess, again, put back in the container. And look at that. See, it did come up a little bit here, the gray. I probably could have had it a little bit drier, but that's okay. I'm actually okay with that because I kind of like the vintage look of that, which is like really popular right now. And let me just, before I do this one, let me just dry this area a little bit. Hi Angie, hi Charlene. So Angie, I took a PTO day today. So it feels really good to be able to do crafts during the day. Too good, actually. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow when I have to go back to work. I'll survive, though, I guess. Just get another stir stick. Okay, so now I haven't used my buttermilk in a while, and really, I could have done a better job cleaning up the edges. Don't do what I do and just close it up. Always try and clean your edges so you don't have dry paste there like I do. And it'll look so much nicer. All right, so I just added a little bit of water because I could tell that my paste was getting a little dry, and that will happen. There's nothing wrong with your paste. Just mix it in. You kind of like want it, you know, between yogurt and cake, like cake batter consistency. Angie, I store them flat. In my craft room, I actually have 2 large drawers that are big enough to hold up to the biggest transfer. So my size C, D, and E, I will put in those drawers. And my size A and B, I actually have those accordion portfolio things that you can get from an office store. All right, so I'm using buttermilk. Yeah, buttermilk is the one. I didn't want to use Bumblebee because that was very bright yellow. And everything is kind of like muted on this. So I didn't want anything bright to go on it in addition to everything else. But I'm going to put some additional bee in other places. I might even put another bee line too, just to give the project some more interest. I used these transfers before, so I don't need to fuzz them. Right here is our fuzzing mat. If you didn't use a transfer before and it's really sticky, then you would want to fuzz it before you put it on. A couple of things, if it's really sticky, sometimes the transfer has come off on your design, and you don't want that. Rarely happens, but you want to be careful that you don't put anything too sticky on. Something else, if it's too sticky and you pull it up, it could distort the transfer by making it, you know, because these are like actual threads in here. It's actually it's like material, actual thread. So if you distort it, it will, you know, it'll be distorted and won't be the same picture it was before. And I think I'm going to, I don't know, I'm not going to do it for this live, but I think I'm going to put some wording up here because I think it's missing something. So guys, tell me what you think. Do you prefer lives that are like really long, like an hour? Or I know I've watched some that are like, they're like an hour. Some people like that. You know, mine tend to have been a little bit not as long. Do you find that that's better, or do you like them longer, or a mixture? I'm just trying to get a feel for what everybody, you know, wants. If I do longer ones, obviously I'm going to have to do some additional projects with it. Because with Chocolate, everything is so easy to do. I mean, it doesn't take that long at all. So, all right, that's the design. So I am back. Here's my face again. So this worked really well. Thank you guys for being my little guinea pigs with the Switcher Studio, even though you didn't know that you were going to be. I think it worked out really well. Let me know what you think if you like this new setup where you see me, then you see the project, and then you see me again. All right, so I will catch you when I'm back, which will be soon, okay?